I'd like to introduce our second speaker. Nader Dagher is the co-founder and creative director at eTobb. He has 3 years of marketing and digital marketing experience in Lebanon and the region, in the Gulf, as well as a graphic design background. He's worked with eTobb, and his creative direction there got eTobb nominated for Best Startup in Social Media at the Social Media Awards in 2013. He's the creator of the very popular creative project Art Hake, or Art Hake, I learned, Art Hake. It does digital artwork, and it combines pop culture Arabic and Arab-English wordplay with custom visuals that we've probably all shared on our profiles. Today, Art Hake, the creative work can be seen on purses, on shirts, and it's sold online and offline worldwide. A little more to how Art Hake was born and the ups and downs of entrepreneurship from Nader Dagher. Round of applause. Thank you.
Hello. So when Aisha first contacted me to be a speaker here, I was really happy because it's called FuckUp Nights, because it's the best thing I do when I'm on stage. So bear with me. Okay. I'm going to tell you a story. It's called A Series of Fortunate Fuck-Ups. And the reason why it's fortunate, because I believe every fuck-up has a negative and a positive side to it. So, success, it can have a million different meanings to a million different industries, to a million different people. But I believe, through my experience, this equation is derived from what I've been through. And I believe those three factors, luck, fuck-ups, and will, are what make up success. Because luck, it comes naturally. It's either good luck or bad luck. We have, fuck-ups, they happen. Everyone fucks up, whether they happen on purpose or they happen in the environment. So it all started back in 2010 when I was, in 2009 when I was a graduate, graphic design and digital media. And back then, I was looking to find a job, so I applied abroad. That was when luck played with me, and I got accepted to work in the biggest printing press in the UAE as a graphic designer. That opened up another door for me, and I went to the second biggest bank in the UAE, Abu Dhabi Islamic Bank, where I was meant to stay there as a temporary graphic designer, but I ended up working there for 2.5 years, and I got promoted to marketing communication supervisor. Yeah. So, a while after that, a person had noticed one of the books I had released digitally online and referred me to apply to Sequence Accelerator program, which was a program that was one of the first to be an incubator and an accelerator for startups in Lebanon. So I applied, I took the chance, and from 500 applicants, I made it to the final 30, and that was when I decided to leave everything. Probably it was a fuck up. I left everything and I came here to start eTobb with a great team. So it was a rather very new atmosphere for me. It was a new experience. But I put everything I had in it because I had left everything I had for it. So I put all my days, my nights, my energy, everything. And in a year's time, our platform was up. We had around 500 doctors, and we were in the talks for our first investment. But then, luck struck again, and this time it wasn't good luck. I got in a financially tight situation, and I was forced to quit and look for another opportunity to pay the bills. So I did. And I found myself on a plane back to the UAE, where I tackled a new industry. I went into social media. And I looked at that as an opportunity to widen my experience, to have much more to give to eTobb if I ever want to go back to it. So I had to go back to Dubai. And what I really hated about Dubai, like about the UAE specifically, that you get there, you get programmed, you become a robot, you do very little things and you do nothing else. So, spotting a smile on the metro in the morning is harder than spotting Waldo in a Valentine's polka dot fiesta. So, I had to do something about that. The whole negative energy thing wasn't working well for me. And that's what made me focus on doing something in my free time. So, have you ever noticed how a forest debris, how important a forest debris is to the forest itself? It's the root of all new beginnings, the root of all new life. And I think that's exactly how it happened with me when I first designed my first Art Haki poster, which was homesick. I had very negative feelings. I was homesick. I wanted to come back. So I put all that into Art Haki, and people started reacting to it. People started loving it more, so I put more focus on it. And before I knew it, I had a huge fan base online. I have right now over 50,000 all over social media. I was making sales online and offline, and it was going places. But then again, the cup filled up again. I couldn't stand Dubai, just like all the times. So I started thinking about coming back. And I do believe that thinking about something, wanting it over a period of time, because we do not have control over short periods of time. So thinking about it over a long period of time really helps you to get to it, because you start putting all your effort in it. And that's what I did. And before I knew it, and at the end of 2014, I was back on a plane to Lebanon. I packed everything and came back here. But I did that by coming back with my company to manage the office, the Beirut office of that same agency I had joined in Dubai. So I came back and I started all over from scratch. And I do believe that starting from scratch is very important, because you never know what's coming for you. It's filled with experiences, it's filled with a lot of change, and change is very important. But I came back to Lebanon, but that wasn't my full plan. I wasn't happy being an employee. I really wanted to go back to being an entrepreneur. And that's when you experience entrepreneurship, you know that it's totally different. Setting your own goals, being your own boss, doing things the way you want them. I wanted that. So there was still one part of my goal that wasn't accomplished. So I focused on that. So I focused a lot on it, to the point where it magically happened. It was one afternoon, and I was having coffee with the eTobb co-founders, my old team. So out of the blue, in the conversation, they offered me my position back. It was something, probably very good luck. They offered me my position back, and so I was overwhelmed. I couldn't believe it. It's like, hallelujah, it was happening. So I let go of everything. I went back to eTobb, but this time I had more experience. I had much more will to take it forward, and I wanted to do everything to be in eTobb, to stay at eTobb, and to take it to the other level. So you probably saw this in 100 different ways, the same actual quote: accept your failures, they are your best shot at success. But because I believe that if you give up one time, you will give up every time. You have to always, always, always take the change. You have to fail in order to succeed. You should not be, if anyone has read Who Moved My Cheese, the book? Yeah. Okay, you shouldn't be the mouse that sits and waits for it to cheese. And you shouldn't be the mouse that follows the cheese. Just be the cheese maker, and you'll make it. Thank you. May the fuck-ups be in your favor.
We're taking questions now from the audience. By show of hands. Hello? I actually am very curious about one thing. You don't hear a lot of stories of people that start up a company, well, except the Steve Jobs story. And then they leave it, and then they get back to it. Has that changed your interaction with the team? Has that changed maybe your relationship or maturity as a team?
It actually made me appreciate it much more, because when you have it, you don't really know the value of it. Being an entrepreneur, having a startup, having something for your own to work on, to take to the next level. So when you get out of that and you experience employee life all over again, having a boss, having deadlines, timelines, and all of that stuff. So yes, it made probably the connections in the team much stronger when I went back to it. It made my dedication to it 100 times more than what I had before. So yeah, definitely, it does.
That's a tough one. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any questions?
Hi. Did you have fuck-ups with Art Haki?
Actually, I did have some fuck-ups in terms of people misunderstanding my work, because in the Arabic language you have different contexts, and when creating something with pure Arabic language, when it doesn't have a real context, it could mean a lot of stuff. Like one time I did this poster about Ain al-Rimmani, which is a mantaqa of Lebanon, and I used a grenade, which is a Rimmani, and I put an eye on it. And one person who lives in Ain al-Rimmani really got offended, because he said you shouldn't talk about it as if it's a war area. I'm like, no, it's just for fun. So probably that misconception led to a lot of problems with the people, but I did have something which was very positive. One of Emirati sheikhs, I got contacted by their assistant, and he purchased 3 of my posters. So that was something that made me very happy.
Which one?
It had a half-naked girl in it. Maybe that's why he had it.
Any questions? Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nader. Thank you, Nader. Awesome.